The German town of Schwedt on the river Oder was almost completely destroyed during the last European campaign of World War II, when the Russian armies crushed the resistance of the Nazis on their way to Berlin. The synagogue was already destroyed by the Nazis in 1938, but despite the massive destruction all around it, the cemetery and the mikveh survived to this day. The mikveh is a Jewish ritual bath with a basin for women's ritual purification. While a Jewish community can conduct prayers without a special synagogue building, it could not function without a mikveh. Apparently, due to the Intimate Purification Act, the mikveh was usually a modest building. In addition, the mikveh was always situated deep underground because the religious laws demand that the groundwater should flow naturally into the basin. The mikveh structures, having no other use, are therefore seldom preserved after the disappearance of a community. Using this rare example of a preserved mikveh, we would like to show in this presentation the Jewish ritual facilities of the town of Schwedt through a virtual computer reconstruction of the buildings. The 18th century Jewish ritual facilities were situated in the southern part of Schwedt on Judenstrasse. By the mid-19th century, the old synagogue and the mikveh were dilapidated, and the community decided to erect new ritual buildings in another place. A plot of land situated not far from the Judenstrasse was bought in 1862. It already had a half-timbered building, which was later used as a home for the synagogue caretaker. The plot is situated directly outside the town wall, which by then had lost its function. The Jewish community was granted permission to insert a special gate in the wall to allow direct access from the downtown to the new synagogue compound. The synagogue was burned down by the Nazis on Kristallnacht 1938 and destroyed some days later. No traces of it are left. The only existing depiction of the synagogue is a general aerial view of the town, made in 1930, which shows the exterior of the building. Combined with an archival ground plan and a cross-section, this photograph provided us with the minimum information to make a virtual reconstruction of the synagogue. The synagogue was built in 1862 by the master mason Gustav Michaelis, a member of the Jewish community, during a short period of 68 days. The cornerstone was laid on July 9th, and on September 18th, the synagogue was inaugurated. The synagogue was a neoclassicist building, occupying the southern part of the compound. Its pitched roof was decorated with acroteria at its corners and with the tablets of the law on the top ridge. The tablets were echoed by two round arched windows on the west entrance facade. The prayer hall was lit through high, round arched windows and had an open timber roof construction. The women's galleries were situated along three walls. As in many German Reform synagogues of the 19th century, the bimah was placed directly in front of the Torah Ark. Though no depiction of the Ark exists, there are community documents which give some hints as to its appearance. One work assignment describes the decoration of the Ark with the tablets of law, two lions, a crown, leaves, and a Hebrew text. This data enabled us to suggest the reconstruction shown here. To the north of the synagogue, the mikveh is attached to the town wall. It was built some years after the synagogue, in 1869 to 71. The mikveh is mainly an underground structure, visible above the earth as a building with two ediculi and a separate brick cupola in front of it. The cupola covers the cylindrical structure on the bottom of which the mikveh basin is placed. The facade of the mikveh is designed in a neoclassical style, and the two flanking edicula bore acroteria similar to those of the synagogue. The left edicula comprises a staircase leading 2 meters underground. The first room, lit through a horizontal window under the ceiling, served as a cloakroom. The second room included a tub for bathing before the ritual purification. Through a tunnel-vaulted passage with stairs leading down an additional 1.5 meters, one reaches the bottom of the brick cylindrical structure where the mikveh basin is situated. The only light entering the mikveh comes from a skylight at the top of the brick cupola, almost 6 meters above the basin. The mikveh was forgotten for many decades, but apart from peeling plaster, it was not damaged. In 1988, the mikveh was cleaned, and plans are underway to turn it into a museum after renovation. Whereas the synagogue and mikveh exemplify the communal life of the Jews in Schwedt, the cemetery represents their members individually. The cemetery in Schwedt was established in the late 17th century in the northern part of the town, outside the town walls and near the municipal slaughterhouse. However, only tombstones of the 19th and the first half of the 20th century are preserved. Some of them were reinstalled after the desecration by the Nazis. The tombstones are mostly undecorated steels, which bear an epitaph in Hebrew and German. The oldest surviving grave is of Ari and Taube Schwedler, who died in 1818 and 1822, respectively. The double tombstone alluding to the tablets of law bears a citation from the biblical book of Samuel. They were lovely and pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided. The last burial took place during the Holocaust in December 1942, when the deceased Jewish merchant Hugo Meinhardt was buried secretly by his Christian housekeeper. There is no Jewish community today in Schwedt, and the only remnant of the destroyed synagogue is a memorial plaque on the closed gate, which once led to it.